Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So very soon in 40 minutes Titan Crystal is going to change and I will be opening a ton of shards live because I do have some champions to get after. But before we get there, let's take a look at the new Titan Crystal, how it is going to look in less than an hour, and I'm going to let you guys know what I think. So first of all, we are kind of approaching a good spot where some of the, maybe not the most desirable champions are already leaving, but I do think that, again, Titan Crystal, this isn't absolutely the worst by any means, and it's definitely not the best that we have had either. I think that was about 6 months ago that Titan Crystal got about as good as it could, or as good as it had. But now, looking at it, leaving the Titan Crystal, Baron Zemo, which is kind of fair enough. Then we have Cassandra Nova. I do think she is kind of underrated. Then we do have The Maker. Never liked him particularly. Caroline Dean and Nico, two absolute banger of a ladies, and High Evolutionary, also kind of like proving himself more and more. So overall, not a bad batch leaving, but let's take a look at what is entering. And we do have Wave, which, to be honest, I kind of like. I think she's kind of cool. After I open a ton of Titan Crystals, by the way, I will be doing a whole bunch of testing, because effectively the plan is to open these crystals until I have like everything, basically. Or almost everything, and then, we're going to be testing out some of these champs. So Wave, I'm kind of interested. I think she's kind of cool. I hope she does well enough. Ghost Rider, I like him. I'm not entirely sure how good he will be, but I definitely want him. It's kind of like a Doctor Strange type situation. I like him a lot. I'm not entirely sure of, the end game value of the champion. Now we have Ruby Thursday, and yeah, I do want her. She's nice. She can be an annoying defender. I know that, at the higher tiers, people know how to deal with her quite well. But, just the mere fact that she's a dual-purpose champion, I do think gives her a decent amount of value. Rhino should not be in Titan Crystal. I think, honestly, including Rhino in this crystal was like a horrible decision by Kabam, because it's a champion that they gave away for free. They should have just, slid Rhino in the base pool at some point and be done with it. I think, I don't think there's going to be like any person really is like, oh yeah, you pulled the Rhino. So out of all the champions they could have included, I think Rhino is a very, very poor choice by Kabam. Madeline Pryor obviously is a champion that I think most people want the most, and I'll be honest, like Pixie, I couldn't care less about. I look at Pixies, I don't know, similar to Silver Samurai. It's like, sure, I'm sure you do something, but there are so much better mutants out there that I just don't care. Just don't care too much. Aside from that, I think I have all of these. The one that I'm still missing, I think, is Dracula, actually. So I am still after Dracula as well. But realistically, looking at it, the new batch coming in isn't necessarily all that much more powerful than the old one leaving. The big difference, obviously, is that we do have most of the old champions. There is obviously also this kind of like cloud over Titan Crystal right now, because I think the excitement for a Titan Crystal in general is at all-time low because of Ascension. Realistically, again, I'm looking at these champions, and regardless of how much I will or will not end up liking many of these, I just, can't justify them taking any higher to rank 4. I can't get them ascended. I'm not going to be able to rank 5 them because I'm in a competitive alliance. And it immediately kind of devalues Titan Crystal a little bit, which I do think is a massive issue. Realistically, I think Kabam should be, giving you Ascension 1 if you pull a champion like 3 times from a Titan Crystal, Ascension 2 if you pull a champion like 6 times from a Titan Crystal, or 7, or something like that. But there being like no path for you to ascend these champions at all is just abysmal. Game shouldn't be existing in a limbo like that. I think it's an absolute design oversight. All that being said, my plan, again, just like it has been with a previous several crystals, is I have like 700,000 Titan shards. I have a bunch of unopened Titans and some Titan Nexuses. So I'll open until I get all the new champions. And Dracula, I guess. And then I'll just stop. So the champion I want the most is, I think, Madeline Pryor. Spots number 2 and 3 would probably go for Ruby Thursday and Wave. Spot number 4 is going to be Ghost Rider. Spot number 5, tricky. It's Dracula, actually. I just like Dracula. I know he's bad. I just like him. The difference is, like, I know Dracula is bad and I like him, and I think Pixie's kind of mid, but I don't like her. So Dracula it is. And then Pixie, and then Rhino, obviously, because I already do have a Rhino. That's about it on the Titan Crystal. Let me know what you guys think. How many Titans are you ready to open? And I'll see you very, very soon in about half an hour when I open them live. Bye-bye. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the next